Over. Hutch, get us started.
Yeah, Coach, you kind of talked about it with Chuck there, but what was your message at halftime in order to kind of get them turned around where they played much better in the second half?
Pretty simple. If you take ill-advised shots, you're coming out, and if you don't defend, you're coming out, and if you don't go to the defense and offensive boards, you're coming out. It was pretty simple. I thought it was the first time all year where we had some selfishness creep in from an offensive standpoint. And then I think at halftime we were able to understand and respect Oral Roberts a little bit more than just the coaches respecting him. Sometimes it's hard to grab your team's attention when you win, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row. And again, I thought we played really, really good in the second half, and I thought we played really, really poor in the first half.
Wow.
Hey, I think you said Bob. I couldn't hear real well. Eric, Connor didn't play hardly at all. Was it just not his pace or style, or was he okay? Or what happened with Connor?
Yeah, I thought he was -1 in the first half, which was better than most of our guys. But we just felt like they were putting him in middle pick and roll, and I wanted to play with more speed and kind of match down a little bit with them. And certainly, to win the second half by 21 points, it worked to our advantage, although Connor's been as good as anybody on our roster, and he's going to be as valuable as any guy on our team. Again, just a decision when we looked at our starters, he was kind of the only one in the minus, and so, that's kind of why we went with the group. We went smaller, replacing the 7'3" guy with JD, who's 6'3",
And then Justin got off to a bit of a slow start shooting-wise. We obviously finished strong. I got to believe that might be a career high for rebounds, maybe not. But what did you think of Justin's game?
I thought he was great. I mean, he can defensive rebound even better than what he's done thus far. But offensive rebounding, he's as good as offensive rebounder as I've coached. Defensively, it's really hard to take him off the floor because he can guard 1 through 5. And so because of his defensive ability, we really tend to rely on him defensively. And then I thought offensively, he stayed around that dunker spot and was really effective on the offensive boards and finishing around on the rim in the second half.
I got some more, but I'll turn back to Mike.
Scotty.
Yeah, Coach, you talked about JD a little bit with Chuck. What did you see from him in the second half, and what kind of allowed him to score those 15 second half points?
I thought his ability to get to the rim and transition, he sparked our scoring runs. He can create his own shot. I just liked how he got to the foul line and then converted, going 7 of 8 from the line, and did a pretty decent job on the glass with 5. But one of the things that we haven't talked about is Desi having 10 rebounds. I mean, anytime you can get your off guard down there rebounding the basketball like Desi did tonight, 4 offensive boards, I thought he was really vital to us as well.
Curtis.
Hey, Coach, I think you guys shot 2 of 16 from 3, maybe in the first half, and then you came out in the second half and looked like you had, maybe 5 or 6 drives to the basket right away. Was that something that you preached there at halftime, being more aggressive, attacking the basket?
Yeah, I would say that the way you just described it, Curtis, is a lot more polite, than maybe, what was said at halftime. I'm still biting my tongue on the first half performance and our shot selection. But you know what? We're gonna go see a incredible Christmas light show with my family and my daughter, and I'm pumped up about that. And I don't want to ruin it by our first half performance. So I'm gonna get in the holiday spirit as quick as I can.
Nate.
Just how pivotal was getting like Abness and Glasper and Weaver in foul trouble in that first half?
Yeah, I thought just that, dribble drive, not settling, all those things I thought were important. I thought, that we had quickness off the bounce, that we were going to be able to, to maybe put some pressure on them defensively. And I thought we were able to do that.
Randy.
Thank
Eric, you talked about the selfishness. Do you think that led to the poor first half shooting, particularly beyond the 3-point line? Because at times it looked like it was even good shot selection, much less selfishness coming into play.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things, Randy. I think, ill-advised shots, too many quick shots, taking a decent shot instead of a good shot or a great shot. Yeah, I thought guys came into the game tonight thinking score instead of thinking Arkansas. First time it's happened this year. Hopefully it does not happen again. But tonight, yeah, for sure. In the first half, not pleased with the way we played with the name on the front of the shirt. We'll get better. We'll address it. We'll show it. And, we'll get better at that.
Jackson.
Seemed like almost all of Moses Moody's points came from putbacks at the rim, kind of attacking the boards. What do you think of his effort in kind of attacking those rebounds and not being just a jump shooter or a drive penetrate guy?
Yeah, I thought Moses did a good job in the second half on the glass. His shot selection was much better second half than it was in the first half. But he struggled I thought tonight was the first night that he struggled, on both ends of the floor. And that happens at times, but I did think he regrouped. And, anytime a guy can score 18 points, in 28 minutes on a night that maybe he wasn't his best shows you the type of talent that he is.
Bob.
Yeah, Eric, I think that was your first technical foul of the year. Look at maybe you're asking them what happened on that? Do you feel like it was maybe you deserve it, or what happened there?
Yeah, you used a good word, Bob. I won't say anything, but I'd rather save the money to get my wife a Louis Vuitton bag or something like that.
Oh, okay. And Abilene's coming in here. They're 7-1. Their only loss was at Texas Tech, and they had a shot to win that game. They got a 7-footer too. Just, I don't know how much you know about them, because obviously it's a quick turnaround. But how do you feel about the quick turnaround? What do you know about Abilene? How tough? It looks like they might be the best team you've played so far.
Yeah, I think they are. They're really well coached. They create disruptions. They deny passing lanes. They're a high steal team. They're a very well-balanced scoring team. There's not one or two players that you can focus on. They do a good job of throwing the ball into the post. But the majority of their offense is created through their defense. So we got to do a really good job of taking care of the ball. We can't try to make home run plays. We can't try to thread the needle. We've got to throw rope passes. We got to be strong when we're dribbling the basketball. We've got to have a good arm bar when we're dribbling the ball. We've got to come and meet the pass with two hands. You can't wait on the pass against Abilene Christian.
Well, like I say, they have a 7-footer. His name escapes me. I know it's KK. His initials are KK. But do you see maybe this being more of a game for Connor with a 7-footer on the other side?
Well, I don't really know, Bob. Because I was more focused on Oral Roberts, but it's obvious that I know probably a little bit more about Abilene Christian than after some other games. I've studied them. I think the whole key to the game is going to be how we take care of the basketball against their pressure. That's what I think will be the whole key to the game. And, I think we'll be able to score if we don't turn the basketball over. But like I said, they're tough, they're gritty, they're scrappy, they're well coached, and they will throw the ball in the post. So I think anytime you play against a team that throws the ball into the painted area, now all of a sudden, big number 23 CV, he becomes a factor.
Do you like having a quick turnaround when you didn't play particularly well? Kind of, hey, let's get back out there and play, or is it a tough challenge to play twice in 3 days?
It's not ideal, but because of finals and the availability of the arena, we had no choice. But certainly wish that this game, I stated earlier in the week, I wish this game was on a Friday or Saturday to give us more prep time. I think we're better the more prep time we have. Having said that, the schedule is what it is. We've got to go have a quick turnaround. Based on how we played the first half, I would have loved to have played right now. and get after it again and try to redeem ourselves after the first 20 minutes. But we did play good the second half. We'll go through, watch a lot of film tomorrow on Abilene Christian, not do much on the legs with the guys that played a lot of minutes, and get ready for an early tip at 4 o'clock on Tuesday.
I just got one more, if that's okay. You obviously aren't happy with the way you played, but some teams, they play a crappy game and they lose. How good is it that you didn't have to lose the game to maybe, learn something? The guys learned something.
Great question, Bob. With that light show that starts at 5 o'clock at the drive-in movie theater, I know that I'm going to have a happy car to watch these Christmas light shows. It's very important that we came out with a win tonight.
Okay, well, I'm happy for your family then too.
Hey, we got room in the back seat if you want to join us, Bob.
I'll probably still be riding.
Hutch,
He answered what I was going to ask.
Hutch, that's it? You were sitting on deck and you got nothing?
I was going to ask what preparation was going to look like tomorrow, and you already answered it.
A lot of film, a lot of scouting reports sent to the guys tonight, a lot of reading, a lot of film work. Later.